There's a lot of switch-ups. Firstly, actually, the most important note, didn't qualify for round 4 on Friday. So qualifier 1 didn't make it here. This is the first time we're actually seeing him and Xwheeze in the championship for FNCS, right? So he has had a little bit rough start to the season. The first 3 weeks didn't manage to qualify for any of the Cash Cup round 2s. Then that week 4 won the Cash Cup because he switched to playing with Xwheeze, who he's been playing with for a long time. This duo that they're working with right now, Andlix Xwheeze, is a proven strategy for success. And look, I think we're going to see that today.
Yeah, look, some more French names that excite me. The top right of your screen, Clement Floki. Obviously, we saw them in qualifier 1. They were contested, and they absolutely dominate. They were so close, literally going into the final game of the qualifier. They were sitting in about, what, 6th, 7th? They looked like they were set to qual, and that was the one game where they went down off spawn, and it didn't quite go so well. So hopefully they come back into the day stronger. They're able to keep that mindset and mentality strong throughout all 6 games and not drop off in the final one. But they'll be looking for revenge today for sure.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like, those off-spawn battles are going to be so intense. I want to see what they're like today, right? Are they still contested? Are they still going to be that stronger team? Because we knew off-spawn, like we said, they were the dominant team there. Especially the games they got off-spawn, they were really able to capitalize and get deep into, having an 11. I can't even say that. It's your name. I should be able to say 11 at this point. An 11 elimination. It's hard to say. 2nd place. So, like, they were able to get deep into the games, get themselves a ton of points. And that's what you need if you're managing to fight off-spawn, basically.
Dude, there were so many contested teams, right, out of qualifier 1. That's the biggest thing we're seeing right now. There's a lot of aggression coming out in this FNCS as opposed to, like, previous ones, right? A lot of these duos are just deciding, I want that name POY. I'm willing to fight for it. I will die on this hill if necessary. And we will butt heads until one of us walks away the winner. We'll have to see how that continues to unfold here in qualifier number 2. And, of course, beyond here in this entire year of duo competition. I look forward to it. Guys, we got to talk about a few more things as we prepare the battle bus. We're warming up the seats. Don't worry, you guys will have front row seats to all of the action. We saved you a seat at the front right next to the bus driver himself. And, of course, Oop and Shywager. But for now, I want to kind of talk to you guys a little bit more about the duos, right? We have 12 returning duos. Some of these that we saw last week did not make it. And if they're not careful with some of these duos that have, like, made it here today, they could miss their spot in semifinals, which is actually, like, a really scary thought. Like, we might not see some of these bigger name duos make it to semifinals for the first time in, like, an FNCS history.
Look, the truth is, this is the first FNCS of the year, and I think after how things went out last year, people know that it is a progression, but in terms of progression, you want to start off, you know, really well, and so not making the finals is going to be something that all these teams will fear. I think a lot of them probably are thinking in their heads, look, hey, even if we don't get top 8 today, we should be good on series points to play in the semi-finals. But Reese, you know better than anybody else, you don't even want to be playing in the semis. You want to go straight to the finals if you can.
Man, I like how you said, I know better than anyone else, as if I've been in that situation, as if I've been a semis final player, and I'm just, oh, I've missed it. But in all honesty, it's true, right? You don't want to go to the semis if you have an opportunity to go straight through to the finals, because the finals is where all the big prize money is. If you can get straight there through in the qualifiers by getting that top 8 in the leaderboard here today or in 2 days ago in qualifier number 1, like, that's obviously going to go straight past. There's like an additional level of stress when it comes to the semifinals, because there's like these 6 matches that you're going to go for. It's a different format. You have to win a game or come top 6 in the leaderboard. So there's a lot of kind of added stress of playing yet another weekend of competition, in particular since there's 3 days of it. So if you have to play all 3 of those days too, you start sweating by the end, right? You're getting your towels jammed on the head at that point, because it is, honestly, if you played through 2 qualifiers, 3 days of each, please just let me into the finals at this point.
All for a seat on the bus, man. All for a seat on the bus. It's absolutely, this is not the place to be, right? If you're one of these teams, you are absolutely sweating and you are worried. But guys, we actually got to hear from some of our pros here before the competition even began. We got to sit down with them, ask them some questions, and learn some of their insights here in Fortnite. Let's take a look at this comment.
I mean, right now the Ninja Spider-Man is like very strong.
It's very good. Probably the SMG, because it's very easy to get refreshes with.
Position is a huge factor, you know, in Fortnite, because when you're like at the back of the zone or like at the wrong spot in the wrong zone, you might get focused or you might be late on rotation, and that might stop your whole game, and boom, it's over, you know.
Mentality is like the main thing in this game, I'm not lying. What I do to try to like keep a good mental state while playing, just trying to have a healthy lifestyle.
Like spend time with my family or friends, talk to them, just like get some activity in, some sports,
just keep going and like also have a look around. Like, okay, is there other things in my life that could be stopping me improving?
The best playstyle right now with like these formats is definitely playing like for end game.
One game can change everything. I think you need to fight, but you need to fight careful.
The best playstyle right now is 100% just very aggressive.
I think it's really like rewarding being aggressive, but you also need to be really passive, like if someone chasing you.
I think the best play is knowing when you can switch off. You know, like, okay, playing slow and immediately do a 360, just start playing fast. That's when you throw players off.
Make sure you play aggressive at the right moments when you see an opportunity, but then also play passive and play like
You love to see it. You love to see it. And the thing I love about these content pieces specifically is like you get to hear from the pros, right? In a lot of these interviews, we get to talk to them, kind of get their thoughts and their insights overall in the larger Fortnite competitive scene, and sometimes kind of zero in on their goals specifically. And this actually leads me into the duos that I want to talk about, right? First up, we have Benji, we have Mr. Savage. Levin, you got to interview Benji back in the Grand Royale not that long ago, right? And one of the things he talked about was his kind of aspirations for 2022. And now that he's back with Savage, especially it being the first where he needs to be, and is Savage the right partner for him?
I think when it comes to where Benji needs to be, you know, I think he still is a way off from it. I think he will know that himself that there is a level where, you know, he wants to probably understand things better for himself. In terms of the partnership with Savage, I think that probably is the best for him. Look, when I did interview him back when it was trios, he was very sort of satisfied with where he was in his career. He was comfortable within that setup, and he very much trusts Savage, and rightfully so. Savage is one of the best players of all time, like Benji, right? So I think these guys are very exciting because mechanically, technically, elite, right? Never gonna doubt that about them. Some of the most talented gamers ever, in my opinion. But when it comes to applying themselves in-game in the later stages of the game, still got work to do, but I got plenty of hope for them.
I got plenty of hope, and I kind of think on a similar, yet at the same time, an opposite view. I think Savage is kind of at his peak right now. If you watch like, any of the streams, any of the gameplay from Cash Cup from the round 1, round 2, whatever he has been on top form. And I mean, like, he is probably the most impressive to watch that I've seen so far. Like, the mechanical ability, the aim, everything is absolutely on point. At the start of the season, these two weren't looking for off because they were playing, they weren't practicing, and because it's a whole new chapter, you basically have to put in a ton of work to be able to learn it, to be able to optimize it, especially with the new map, with basically everything new at this point. You have to play to practice, and now that they've kind of caught up a little bit, it seems like they're on an absolute tear, just placing second in the previous round and looking super good as well.
Yeah, okay, I like this breakdown. Let's keep this up with the duos conversation. Landing at Log Jam Lumberyard. We got Kriyachi, Stormy, right? Talk to me about this duo. What expectations do we have for them coming into qualifier number 2?
Yeah, I'll be real. I was not expecting really... Well, I didn't know what to expect, if I'm being honest, from these guys. Kriyachi, there was talks about whether he was going to keep playing the game or not, right? Maybe he wanted to take some time off. But, to be fair, they did really well in the last qualifier. They are a team to watch out for. Of course, they've got FNCS winning experience within that duo, so that definitely counts for something. Reese, in terms of these guys, do you really think they are at that level? Do you think they can get back to the peaks they had during trios?
Yeah, I think they can. It's just a matter of, like you said, practice. Right now, when I've been looking at their gameplay so far, it's like they're just trying to get the drop spot Logjam right now. Yeah. There's been a bunch of different teams thrown there. We've seen Juriki and iDrop, who haven't qualified here today, managed to. They were also like fighting there a bunch. Previously, saying Chapix were there, so their performances this kind of season so far, you can't really say much about them outside the points they just had. Qualifier 1, which is good. 14th, absolutely, but it's not that qualification slot. It's not the top 8. They're not in the finals yet. They should probably have punched a ticket through to the semi-finals with the series points that they've gained so far. I think they can be up at the top, winning in that top 5, but will I say they're like a number 1 duo that could potentially win this season? I don't think so yet.
It's tough to hear, Reese, but listen, there's still time. We have 6 games ahead of us, and of course, the semi-final round. They have time to change things up. I'm not as worried as I should be, but there is a little worry starting to creep into the old mind. But let's keep the ball rolling. We got to talk about Vino and Joe. They're landing at Covert Cavern, and these guys in round 2 just dropped the 2 15 elimination games back-to-back, followed by a 14 elim game as well. I mean, you know, Levin, I'm very excited about this duo.
I'll be real, I'm very excited as well. Vino always talks a good game about Fortnite. Like, if you want to talk to anybody about Fortnite and, you know, really learn and have a good conversation, Vino's always going to be one of them guys. But I think they've actually applied a lot of it. Covert's not an easy spot to land at. You're going to have a lot of teams contesting you. But some of the ideas and small little things I've seen from them, even against some of the biggest names in Fortnite, they have no fear. And Vino really believes that he is one of the best players and he can deliver. And like you saw in the content piece, he says you've got to know when to switch it on and off. And I think these guys actually do.
Yeah, and I think you nailed it. He is one of the best players in the world. All-Stars showed that, where he tied almost so close for first when it went down to first versus second. And obviously, he ended up losing that one out to Payton in that final thought moment. But if we kind of look back, this rivalry's still going on at this point, because they've been contesting each other in the qualifier one. That's what we saw, those two going head-to-head, going up against each other. But this time, Payton hasn't managed to qualify through. So, I don't know who else is going to be landing there specifically, but they don't have one of the biggest threats that Payton Thomas HD to go up against in that drop spot. You've got to think, even while being contested against one of the best teams in the world, they placed 50 in qualifier one. So they were still doing really strong coming out of that drop spot while being contested in that situation. They have 3 now, you know, things are looking super good for them today.
Dude, I really do hope so, man. I want all these duos to do so well, right? I just want to have a finals where everyone can participate. It's not quite that easy, right? We need to narrow this down to the very best of the very best. But now you just kind of mentioned a name, and I want to circle back to this duo right now. Benji landing in Towers. But going up against the Synthos, how do you feel about this POI? This is going to be contested a lot. I mean, obviously, center of the zone here has a lot of opportunities for chest spawns, loot spawns, and even materials to be gained. But guys, this is a very scary POI, especially like now, specifically in Qualifier 2. If you know that all these other duels are saying, look, this is our shot, we want to land tilted towers, we want to take this over. I mean, what can we expect out of this?
I'm just being real. If you were here during Qualifier 1, I said that they're lucky that the best team is Qualifier, and the team was Benji and Savage. I think when it comes to off-spawn at Tilted, they are the most effective. The things I see from them in terms of the basic fundamentals of understanding of how to dominate a drop, the way they claim loot, gather information, and then when it comes to the actual engagements against their opponents, regardless of who it is, I think these guys are really on top. So look, Kins obviously took a great duo, but I'm putting my money on Benji and Savage here.
I'm with you. But to be honest, I'm also in a slightly different circumstance because I haven't seen Kinzel go up against Benjamin. I've seen them in the same lobby. They're taking different loot paths and they're disengaging. Since I have seen Benjamin be a lot more aggressive in that drop spot, but the thing that's actually concerning me is there going to be a third team there, right? That's what we've seen pretty commonly in tournaments so far. And if that's the case, then where are they landing? If they land on the south side, potentially cutting off some of Benji and Savage's loot, they're going to get into that difficult engagement at that point, and then that could mess them up. Kinzel could third party, teams from around could third party, and it could become a institutions there. I don't see them on edge and actually getting into any engagements off spawn because they just don't need to. There's so much to lose.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, I just have this feeling that we're going to see other duos landing close to towers. It's just so, like, high risk, high reward. And the highs are so valuable, right? The low is obviously, like, we're eliminated. We have to kind of wait until this next match to try again. But if you can make it out of there, it's just such a valuable POI. And we'll just set your duo up for the end game. But I'm hoping it doesn't get too out of hand. We'll see. We don't have to wait that much longer to find out. One last duo to throw your way is Camp Puddle. You got to take a look at Malabuka versus Shimeki. Guys, I feel like I have not been able to wrap my mind around Camp Puddle as like a POI. I just feel like for me, I'm missing something. What insights do you guys have about this POI?
My true insight into this POI, if Malabuka and Sasha there, stay away. Just stay away. just stay away.
That's it.
Look, we think Shimeki's may look to contest, or maybe to at least, you know, grab some of the loot, right, Reese? But in terms of actually fighting Malabuka and Mustache, come on, you know better than that, man. Let's entertain it.
These are pro players we're talking about. They understand the landscape. They know the players they're up against. Malabuka and Mustache are easily been able to dominate drop spots like this before. We've seen them multiple seasons before getting into engagements. They're not the kind of team you just want to pick a fight with, right? So we did see there that Shimeki team's probably going to land just outside. Try and look the house that's on top of the hill, which will take away 5 or 6 jets from the 27 that Malabuka and Mustache will have access to. 27 minus the 5 or 6, still plenty for 2 players right now. We may see this engagement, but if we don't see it, I still think both teams could really come out of this pretty well.
Look, if you want to know what it's like fighting Malibuka and Mustache off spawn. Just go a bit east and you can ask Benji and Savage. They'll tell you a lot about that one. You know what I mean? So hopefully there isn't any too much funny business going on there.
Just stay away from the left side of the map. You want to be in a competitive Fortnite, just left side of the map, just ignore it. Just don't worry about it until you get to that caliber player where you can go head to head with them. Not worth it, at least for now. Guys, we have another content piece to throw your way. This one's called the Fortnite Effect. Let's see what it's all about.
I first started playing Fortnite back in 2018.
I think my brother, some of his friends was playing it.
I started playing it like since really the start, like first season.
I started playing in season 3.
A friend told me about it, and I was like, that's probably like a kid's game.
We tried it and we thought it was fun and we kept playing it.
Like after the second or third game, I was full into it.
It's just like completely different game. It's a battle royale with building mechanics.
You could build and then edit the buildings.
The game was very good. There was no game like Fortnite.
There's so many cool items in the game.
And there still are no games like Fortnite.
I think every pro player in any game has this competitive drive, you know?
For me, knowing that I can always improve.
You want to be on the leaderboards, you want to perform good.
So I just want to get better and better and better.
Describe Fortnite. Just, you shoot people, you build, and you try and win the game. Make sure the storm doesn't catch you.
It's a battle royale with a completely different mechanics from all the other games.
It's the first game where you really can build and you can outplay the opponent with just by building.
If I knew it was gonna become this big, I would probably try it harder, put more time in it.
2 years ago, no one thought about the things you could do now.
First started on controller, but when I changed the keyboard, I'll put F1 or F2 and F3. And if I wish I did a good keyboard back then.
Even stream at the beginning, because if you were a really good player and streamed, everyone was watching you back then. So everyone wanted to become good in Fortnite.
The Fortnite Effect. Just another opportunity, right, to talk with the players so you at home can get to see their faces. You can learn about them and say, hey, I'm a ride or die for that person right now. And that's why, for me, it's always going to be Stompy. I'm a big fan of him. He's a great guy. Really quickly, let's touch on predictions because the Battle Bus is almost ready to go. We got to talk to these duels we think could end up in that top 8. Remember, top 8 is that bar we want to cross to auto-qual into finals. I'm kicking us off. I got Joe and Vino. Once again, I kind of mentioned it not that long ago, the 215 bombs in a row, followed by a 14 elimination game. These guys are on fire. 11-2K. You change it up, though. Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy. The crowd team.
Look, I'll be real. This is more so just the hope, you know. It's more so I like to be very analytical here and give you the team I really think is the best possible team in all you. But this is also just the team I really want to see in the finals because I think they have a lot of potential and I think they've shown such high moments already that if they can translate that into these lobbies, it'll be great.
Jason also wasn't here, so he didn't know who to predict. I went with Andlegs and X-Suites as well. Mentioned why they're so good earlier. Malibuka, Mustache, Shia went with, and then Boop obviously went with Stormer and Kirachi. We've actually covered all 3 of these teams already. They're fantastic. Let's be real. One of us is going to be right. Someone probably more right than the others, though.
It might be you, Reese, but who knows? It might be Boop coming in. Remember, it's his first time here in Chapter 3, Season 1. He was on the analyst desk not that long ago, but now he's taken to the caster desk with Shia Wager. So, friends, let's go say hello to Boop and Shia Wager.
Thank you so much, Zeke, Levin, and Reese. If you like their voices, I feel like I just heard them 2 days ago, and you like watching amazing Fortnite, then welcome to Qualifier 2 of the FNCS. Before we get into the awesome action, I have to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who runs EU Pro Level practice, and a certified intellectual genius, Boop NL. Boop, how you doing, man? What are your expectations for the FNCS today?
I am so excited to be here, Shia. You are my new best friend, apparently, because you and Reese and Levin, it's all over now, so I'm happy to be here. I'm kind of sad to be known as the practice guy. I think I have a little bit more than that. I've done a few coaching things. I'm a little bit of an analyst, but I'm excited. And there's a lot of good players today in the games that, we're going to be looking at. So me and you, we're going to do great today.
Yeah, we'll throw it down. There's so many titles that, I have to sort through for you. I just threw 2 at the wall and made them sound hopefully good enough. But yeah, you're doing a lot on the scene, and now you get to just break down some of the best duels you've been watching. And right before we get into it, we just have to take a little bit of the breather. It'll be game number 1, and it's starting right now. And here we go. It was just 2 days ago where we saw a lot of hot action. So many things going down to the final wire. Pablo qualifying off of a win in the 6th game. That means anyone has a chance in qualifier number 2. Every game matters and every elim will change your destiny. Right now, we're dropping hot into Tilted. Many teams here, Boop, and Savage Benji, a hot name. They're going to be one of them.
Yeah, and these guys have, it looks like they're uncontested right now. They do have, unfortunately for them, DKS and Bad Snipe, who are qualified to the finals immediately of last week. But now, it's their time to shine. And, DKS and Bad Snipe, if they qualified from this spot on Con last week, then it's Savage and Benji. They have to show that they can do it too in order to be a worthy opponent.
Yeah, what's the difference kind of with Savage and Benji and these round 2s versus round 3s? It feels like they can build momentum a lot easier facing a lot of different random teams of the 400 that are playing. Now when it's like 2-on-2, how do things change for this duo?
Yeah, this duo is pretty aggressive. They do really, really well in those semifinals. I mean, they did so amazing. They got first in the Opens in week number 1. The week thereafter, they got 7th. I mean, yesterday they got 7th in the Opens as well. In the semifinals, they got 123rd in the previous session, and now they did super well. And they did actually make it to the final for once. So, they're sort of figuring out. I think, these guys haven't been doing too much practice as far as I've seen, but, they have that experience. These guys have been playing with each other for such a long time, since World Cup times, and I'm excited to see them here, because, everyone loves to see Benji and Savage do well.
Yeah, absolutely. You ask like any player on the street, any fan, usually Benji's at the first, word on their mouth as to who you're a fan of, who you're rooting for. Right now we also got Rotary and Q-Roll, 2 names that are also kind of endemic to the EU scene. We see them popping up every now and then. When it comes to that legendary status, I still feel like they're trying to rise to that occasion and go for it, right?
Yeah, and I'm surprised there's actually 2 teams landing over the boat here. I mean, I haven't seen a single duo actually try to claim this boat. It's honestly one of the worst spots I've seen on the map, mainly because you're very isolated in the water, right? And you can see this happening here. Malibuca very close by from that Camp Cuddle side, and they're just going to camp you for Surge. You're just isolated in the water. You can't really do too much, and, with 2 teams there, I don't know what these guys are thinking, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, time management as well, right? Whenever you're in a bad spot, you have a few more teams. It kind of just impacts and starts to roll over to different points of the game. They're mid-game, probably toss 2 right now. They don't even feel or know it yet.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look at the match, 23 builds in total. They do have 4 peppers and the flopper as well, but all gray weapons. It's not looking too good from them. And I see Malibuca and Mercer still peeking out from that gas station side. It looks like they did not have an early game fight with the team that was contesting them of Smeki. As we move over towards, I believe this is Condor Canyon. Yes, Andalex trying to get involved here with another team right next to them.
Yeah, this job saw not too forgiving when you actually start to get shot and end up in a bad spot. There's not too many places to escape from. Andalex trying to go for a sneaky one, but does miss. That blind shot, unfortunate. Executes on the top side, though. It'll be a 2v1 blocked off the ramp inside the box. Andalex is in a lot of trouble. It's a blender, but the settings look to be kind of weird. Doesn't matter. Both players eliminated in an instance. It's Hookah and Zestin. Boop. I mean, they just showed up and they're ready to play.
Yeah, Hookah and Zestin, this is a duo I've seen a lot from practice-wise. They were doing super well against Kiriachi and Stormright as well, who used to land Condor Canyon. Vidil and Reason, also mortal enemies of Hookah and Zestin. And, I'll be honest, these guys, I've seen them storm fight for a good 10 minutes inside of Condor Canyon before, so they are not ready to give it up. And they're showing up today up against Andalex there.
Absolutely, and a lot of the times when it is in practice, right, those storm fights are to kind of send a message or claim that POI. You need to have a little bit of balance of that now too, because only 6 games to play, every single one matters so much. You have to really know, do you really want to secure the spot, or are you trying to go for that win?
Yeah, for sure. And you don't really want to give up that spot. I mean, we play passive in game number 1. This is sort of like the feeler out, right? You want to be feeling out your opponents. Usually the first game, as we saw in the last finals, it was very unstacked. This one is a little bit better. 86 people still left alive. But, you're going to have to try to feel it out. You want to see where people are landing. You're going to adapt. You're going to go back into replays, take a look at where they're landing. And you do not want to be going towards that south side of Condo, Shayo.
Yeah, I mean, feeling it out exactly is what every player wants to do, and Q-Roll Rotary are now probably feeling pretty bad because you mentioned that boat drop contested, Rotary now down. I think I've seen Q-Roll in this position with a different team or a different player so many times. He does have that clutch factor, the kind of the clutch gene to get his team back into the game, but even then, these guys have a huge uphill battle.
Yeah, and he's going to be running into Covert Canyon very close by there. It's a little bit scary for him because I believe Veno and Joe are uncontested. We did mention in the analyst desk, Tace and Thomas AG not qualifying this week, unfortunately. Didn't even make it past Opens. That is the biggest shocker of all of us. And just goes to show that, it can happen to the best of us. You just got to be consistent. As we move over to Cyrox here, he is hiding. There's 2 players here that are they're sniffing him out. And I think he's safe so far, but this is a scary proposition.
I don't even think his teammate's eliminated yet, so I'm wondering where Flawless is right now to try to come and help him. But this is going to be trouble, and I'm pretty sure this team knows exactly where he is. The biggest issue right now is the fact that he has no mats. So I think this is also a very good spot because it's kind of, in the dark, in the shadows. It's huge, but it is also one of the mats that people love farming, these huge rocks, right? Like, no matter what happens here, I would assume Nico and Vang might want to go up here and get their brick up, but it looks like they're getting their funny comedic timing up instead as well. Vang's actually just moving out. Nico's not going to bother with this hunt, and it looks like Cyro's looking good.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a worthwhile strategy sometimes in this meta to camp cards. Like, Storm Surge, as you noticed last week as well, was a very tough thing to have. If you can get both eliminations early on to the fight, that's at least a good 200 damage if you're just including white health. If you're including shield, that's upwards of 400. So you can even camp card, and even if you do tank a lot of white health in Storm, that's completely fine because there's no reason for you to rotate that early, right? The reason why a lot of these teams are rotating quickly is because they do need Storm Surge. But in that position, you can camp the card. You can be kind of a rude boy and destroy other teams' chances. And yet again, this is sending another message to the team that's landing nearby. Hey, don't mess with us because we're going to be camping your card and we're here to play.
Yeah, Jox and Skyzoo rolling in, eliminating one of the teams that did have the lead a little bit in terms of eliminations. They're going to be looking at what they want to do. And right now, I can kind of see that game one Fortnite effect kind of happening where a lot of teams are kind of scuffed. Teammates going down early, fights they might not want to be planned a part of. Right now, looks like Link's also in a little bit of trouble. His teammate's down. He's going to have to 1v2, expending a lot of materials to keep that high ground, but against two players, it's going to be oh so difficult. He's in a little bit of a rough spot. Pump shot, damage done. The SMG can't even get you out of this one, my friend. Yeah, Link's going to go down.
Valiant effort there, my friend. But interesting to see again, a lot of aggression coming out of Chonkers Speedway. Last week, there were 3 teams contesting it. I believe there's only 2 this time, with Lechi and Fastroki and Kali landing here. But so far, not that much aggression out of the teams actually landing in Chonkers. But I believe Victorina and Jikes here are landing out just outside of it and trying to third party to get medal there.
Yeah, we're talking about job slots. I want to even pull a little bit north if we saw this fight actually breaking down. Wait a minute, I thought it'd be a little bit of a slow burn. Chapix, unfortunately, taking a lot of damage, and this is what ends up happening. I feel like every time I watch this duo, it's one little mistake that makes their good position to go absolutely disastrous. Jumped into the box. Chapix is down. It's up to Seti, and he misses the first shot from the shotgun, but has that MK7 just rattling away. He gets the trade 1 for 1, but now he's out of shield. This is trouble. Launch padding away. He'll try to reset. Double sprayed. It's a whole new duo coming in.
Yeah, and I think he probably should have gotten that finish there on that body. I'm not really sure. He only has 2 builds there in total, so he has to play off of that Siphon elimination. But he, he's a pro player, so he might know best, has to use that launch pad to get out of there. But right now, you're giving up that control, right? And if you don't get that finish on that body, the other player there is going to be able to pick him back up, and they're both going to be camping on your card. And that is Janus and Vortex nearby. Those guys are so aggressive. And Vortex, he is a ridiculous player. We've seen him do super, super well in solo cash cups. He's jumping into boxes all the time, and he's coming in for the third party, and he sniffs out Seti very close by, but Seti's, he's swimming away.
Elon just came through inside the feed, so Vortex even knows exactly who it is in terms of Seti getting that elimination. So it's going to be vital information in terms of knowing how Seti plays, what he wants to do. We'll have to see exactly if Seti can get it back. The good thing about Seti right now is he has 2 med misses in total. That's like what? More than almost 2 minutes inside one of that first storms. He's going to be able to just chill out for so long. Actually drops 1 for 6 chug splashes, maybe to get his teammate back on HP. But we'll watch that fight drop down as well. How did Seti get the other elimination? He actually ends up stealing it, so it wasn't even the confirmation from the other side. This man is just lethal. We've been seeing some crazy stuff. Last days it was just what? Thomas HD with the crazy beams in the sky. This time, Seti's active and online.
I mean, Seti has that experience. Back in the old days in the other map, he used to land in that Cammy split. And, he took turns with Cammy landing on top of that pylon, shooting at players at Dirty Dock. So that track and AR coming through yet again. But I wanted to note there that Seti, he has the 2 eliminations. So that's actually a very good thing. Because you have to remember, Storm Surge is still a factor. There's still 78 people left alive, I believe. And because he has both eliminations, they don't need to hurry up. They don't need to force anything. He can take his time. There's 5 minutes on these Rubik cards still. So he can take his time to go through, Chao.
Yeah, there's a huge potential for a good game here for Seti as well. 2 launch pads. He wants to get Chapix back. He wants to make the end game. They're so rare and difficult to come by, and they just change the entire game to have your team get a little bit more control overall.
Yeah, and you need to be careful, though, because this zone isn't the best for you when you want to reboot. There's not that many options. Obviously, you have the reboot van to the west there, but you also have the reboot van in Sleepy. But the issue, if this zone does push Sleepy, where are you going to pick up your boy?
Yeah, I mean, there's not too many Vans that are kind of low-key entirely. We'll see exactly what Seti can do, but this duo is what I wanted to talk about, and one that you're really hyped on. Boob, Stormy Wright, and Kiriachi coming in from Logjam, Lumberyard. I mean, why do you predict them to do so well today?
Yeah, these guys, they got 14th last final. You know, they're a very aggressive duo. I think they have some of the best synergy I've ever seen. Obviously, 2 FNCS winners again from trios. And take a look at the quick stat there. They finished first in both previous qualifier rounds of this qualifier. So, you know, they're coming in with a lot of momentum. And I feel like they've learned the mistakes of last time. Unfortunately, they don't have the surge strategies down yet. But, you know, they had a whole finals of experience last week to do it. So I have faith for them.
Yeah, I mean, I like that word that you tagged this team with, momentum, but I feel like it's a double-edged sword for them as well. If their game 1 and 2 doesn't, you know, rile up very fast, I feel like they tend to go to sleep. Like, they don't actually show up for the rest of the game. So this should be a very important game for them. It's literally in their hemisphere. They kind of have the home zone entirely as to where they get to play. They have so much info on the map. Joe and Vino, too. I mean, you're talking about momentum. They were looking so good in the previous rounds of last qualifier. They're here again to break things down, and this time, their drop spot doesn't look that contested either.
Yeah, it looks like they weren't contested at all. If you take a look at Vano's inventory, that confirms that 2 launch pads in total. Getting that out of the vault there, you know, that is more than enough than what you need in this endgame. Obviously, the Surge is looking like a pretty good spot as well. They have that mountain near Shifty, which is actually surprising that they're able to get there as quick as they are. Because, you know, Covert Canyon, it takes such a long time to loot compared to some of the other POIs. I believe this mountain is claimed by Pink a lot of the time. I've seen him rotate to that spot very, very quickly with Quad Crashers prior, but unfortunately, Quad Crashers not really that used nowadays, as we see Chapix and Seti getting rebooted. And, you know, this is a far reboot. So, like I mentioned before, like, they're not going to be able to find a very good spot to refarm the metal. This house right below Chapix here does provide you with a good amount of metal, but it's pretty slow, and you don't have too much white heals here to heal up.
Hopefully going to be opening a few random chests, getting some bad miss out of them, maybe even getting a few splashes too. Pena and Volko, though, they'll be moving in the actual action. No storm chasing here from this duo. Sleepy Sound, we're expecting a lot of contestation from different teams. And now we're seeing that these guys are going absolutely to the skies. And the fight is the limit, apparently. Pena does not care about how to play this game. He just wants to go in and deal damage, rather trap inside someone else's box, drop people down. Julex is gone just like that. There's no way. Chico does get the trade. He's not out yet, but no, Pena gets him too. Is that allowed? Have you ever seen someone do that this season?
I mean, Chico and Julex there get the Chapter 3 Classic, and the Stinger SMG right into the box there. And you know, who needs a Storm Surge plan where we can just jump to a box like that? Easy done. That's wraps there for Chico and Julex, unfortunately. Interesting note there, Shayo. They are getting coached by Queasy today. Queasy didn't qualify last qualifier, sorry. And, you know, knowing Queasy's reaction, he's probably not very happy about that either. I think his team just getting jumped on by a double SMG. Looks like Malabuka here. He's right next to another team, and they're getting tagged by Surge. Hard find. Obviously a controller player, so he's going to be struggling with those long-range tags. Nova as well right next to him, but Malabuka, I mean, he smells blood here. He hears it, but actually, it might not be these guys that are getting tagged, Shayo.
Yeah, it might be someone right above them. Yeah, I think it's literally someone beside them.
Yeah.
These players obviously can't hear the tags themselves. They can hear the shield cracks when they happen, but back and forth. Here we go. Jumping in, Malabuka, they just know timing so well. They know exactly how to survive, when to strike, and now that Storm Surge changes straight towards Nova. There's a double pump shot right there. It's so simple for Mustache and Malabuka.
Yeah, I don't looking at Malabuka's loadout here, I'm not too happy with it, I'll be honest. That purple Ranger assault rifle is very good for long-range Storm Surge tags, but as you saw there, he struggled to jump into the box. You definitely want an MK7, and there you go. Malabuka does swap it out. There you go. It's almost like an analyst, you know? I mean, there you go. He switches it out. You know, you want that high fireweight weapon, especially when you don't need any much surge nowadays. You know, they jump to the box there, they got all the surge. They're pretty much fine until that first moving. And there you go. Malabuka, the only player with 10 eliminations in a single game during Qualifier 1, Round 3 in NES, NOS, or EU. And I'm not surprised, Shayo.
Yeah, I mean, across the whole world, this man is the guy in terms of just going in, making sure every shot is perfect and lands at the best times. I just feel like, once again, timing is so good for this duo, or even, you know, in the past seasons, trios when they're playing together. But right now, although the timing might be right, the build's a little bit incorrect in moving in, and they have an entire wall to pass. Clement and Floki right in front of them, leader on the left side as well, with Irazumi coming in what, 50th place overall, so they're ready, they're looking to go, and Floki is also driving straight in.
Now, this is a pretty tough zone for them to rotate in on, and especially when you're late. I mean, I'm expecting the zone to pull right towards Sleepy Sound side, and there's a lot of little hills and boxes that people are going to be basing up on. Luckily for them, there's not a team holding out this edge, so they should be able to get in for free here. But if this zone does tend to pull northeast, they're in a very tough spot, especially with that reboot coming out.
Yeah, the different types of flavors from teams are going to be prevalent here too. Storm Surge is the big thing. If you don't have enough damage dealt, the server will start to deal damage to you. A bunch of teams already know how much damage they kind of have or need to do, and right now, depending on that, some teams might be a little bit more aggressive, others a lot more passive.
Yeah, and if for those of you that don't know, after we get a reboot going in, after Storm Surge has already popped, you're gonna have Storm Surge reactivate as soon as this zone starts closing. So 71 people left alive here. You're gonna have a few teams not expecting this because, you know, it is a little bit scary, but luckily for them, Castry goes down to Bevies and Vortexia. And, you know, we're not going to get the reactivation of Storm Surge. As zone does actually pull towards those northern mountains. So everyone on the south side, you know, I'm feeling bad for the Chonkers team because this has been a full sprint and marathon across the map.
Yeah, they've just had to just keep going up, up, and up, and it's mountains they have to deal with as well. Every team's gonna be focused on this position, but also on dealing damage and making sure they don't go down. I mean, this is just so tough with elevation in the mix boop. It's so rough to find a good spot to kind of, you know, hide and base out.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. As we saw, Veno also going down very early on here, so not able to have that first good game. Cover Canyon on Con, but sometimes, you know, everything could go perfect and you could just have, you know, like Chico and Trulix saw, you could just have a team right next to you that needs Surge and then your game is ruined, unfortunately. So maybe that's what happened to Veno and Joe here. And Veno, I have seen him clutch out a lot. You know, when he used to play trios with Shadow and Mist...
Damn, since when was the last time we... Oh, shit. Was my game chat off? Oh, shit. Am I in a party? No. Like... Yo. Why is my mic... Why is my... Is my voice chat off? Yo. Yo, sir. Why is my mic not working? Yo. It's not what... Yeah, oh, there we go. I'm like, why the fuck is my mic not working?
There you go.
Jesus Christ, I'm like, what the hell?
How you doing, man?
I mean, good. I don't have a PS4 anymore, so you don't hear a jet engine. So...
I'm sorry, but you will rather hear me opening my vape.
God, I hate this creative hub so bad, so much.
I think it goes hard. I think it's just so loud.
Exactly. Ah, that didn't work. Oh. Jesus. How do you turn this off? I don't want to listen to it.
Come here.
It's not music. Ooh, box fights, yay.
Box fight and Zone Wars. You're probably gonna poop on me, FYI.
I don't know, probably not. Oh, I turned off all my... Hold on, I gotta turn all my HUD settings back on because I turned it off. I was watching FNCS. Ooh. On. Ah, there we go. Oh, I didn't know your stuff was right there. Jeez, you know how to use the slide mechanic perfectly. Jeez.
That was
that
I've
was
never
what?
done that before.
yeah, you've never slid around and just shoot somebody in the face?
No, not once.
Okay.
I feel like I executed that perfectly.
Oh, shit. Ow. That hurt. Oh, my gun wasn't out. Oh shit. I was holding the flopper.
I would love to be killed by a flopper.
That'd be funny.
Like.
Yeah.
Imagine if you threw a flopper at someone and it did damage. Imagine the trolls.
Oh. There's one back up here. Oh, what? Okay, I'm not even gonna. Man, you timed that perfectly. What? Why'd you just shoot the floor? Ow. Ow, that hurt. Sir, leave me alone. Oh. No, that's on my wall. What the?
It's not resetting. No, only 100 for that headshot.
Oh, that was a headshot?
I think at least a 200.
That
I was right on your dome. I was expecting a 200. That's how on your dome it was.
Oh, you're above me. Right. Oh, I'm not dead. Nice. Ah! Sir, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. What are you doing?
Oh my god!
I just cloned myself. Oh, I'm dead. No, I'm not.
You made me look at my health. Thank you.
Ooh.
Oh.
Kinda. Ah! Ow, you. I'm dead.
I'm just hitting my shots today, I guess.
And you suck. Phil.
No.
Can I? Sorry, I can edit. I still can't edit. Can't edit. Okay, sir. I'm sorry. Ooh, that was a nice little 170 right there.
I don't like that. I will not lie to you.
I should not eat it.
It's not resetting. my shit isn't resetting. It's terrifying. Bitch is coming up.
Hey, you won't believe this. I got a dub in school. Like, the other week. Yeah, in school. Literally brought my controller, whipped out the computer, and just played it. Ooh, you're cranking. He's cranking. Oh my god, what the fuck are you doing? Hell, no, I'm supposed to keep cranking. Uh-oh. It's on my wall.
35, by the way.
That didn't hit. Almost hit your head. Where are you? Wait, what are you doing? Oh, you're right there. I have an idea. Oh.
Oh, you touched the ground first.
I was gonna try to thunder pump you in the head, and I missed.
You would have killed me too. I was so low. Alright, what do you want to do with this?
Ow, my head, damn.
Want to do this again?
I still can't build. Damn. Just shot you twice, and as I was falling out, headshot you for like 170.
Touch my ball.
Oh, I'm on the ground. What the fuck? Oh. Oh shit. Oh, I'm dead already. Nope.
But you're low.
Whoa, wait a minute. No! I'm in your blind! Damn it. The fuck?
I just reverse boxed you.
I was literally behind you and missed my shotgun shot. Oh. Ooh. No. Oh shit. Back off, back off. What are you doing? Stop it. Stop it.
Oh! Oh, these are yours.
Ow, that hurt. Stop it. Oh shit. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Ooh. I like this one. Aw, I already fucked up. I already fucked up. Oh, you bitch. Hey. I saw my wall! My shotgun didn't shoot, great. 42, let's go. What the fuck? My shotgun didn't shoot, what the fuck?
Bugs!
What the Stretching. No, stretching, that's what it was. Black Spider-Man did. You know what I'm saying? What did you say?
What?
I didn't say anything about Black Spider-Man did. Oh, already fucked up again. Let's go. Hold on. Ooh. That's your walls. That's your wall. That's right. Oh shit. That's your... Oh shit! Back the fuck up! No! Oh shit! I'm fucked. I'm so fucked.
I thought that wall was mine. Ah, that's not mine.
Ooh. Oh my god, no way. Where are you? He's still down there. Answer my question. Ooh. Oh, it's on my wall. Dang, that's crazy. That was also crazy.
So many crazy things.
What the fuck?
I never want to do that again. That's terrifying. It's so your fucking left eyeball peek over my stare.
Where am I? Where am I? He can't find me. He can't find me. Oh shit, that's not my wall. Oh, he got the wall behind me? Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I'm so dead. What the fuck?
I don't know if that's a strat, my guy.
Yeah, I tried to edit my stare, didn't edit. I tried to eat. Oh my fuck, no way. Alright. So listen here. Listen, buddy. So I don't. Okay, I'm Ooh, okay, I'm just gonna sit back here.
The angles?
He has the angles. Like I was about to.
Oh, I missed my shot. Try to.
Get fucked. Ooh, you're probably on the bottom, weren't you?
I got the high ground retakes.
Lying? No way.
I'm about to do the greatest high ground retake ever.
As I'm like 20 billion feet in the air.
Instant high ground.
Hey, you're a whore. Shit. Let me just stop this.